Okay, everybody, we are so back for streaming a little bit. Here's my Snookums Karma. Hello, Rosias. How you doing?
You need something powerful. You need adaptable, scalable, customizable. So when you're growing, you've got employees hireable, hires onboardable, paychecks payrollable, and benefits administration. All on a platform that's easy to use, endlessly dependable, everything HR requires. So your team can be formidable, unbreakable, unstoppable. Because when you need more than doable, that's valuable.
There are plenty of ways to watch us here on the First TV, and however you're watching, we're super grateful. But we also have an app, the First TV app, and all the clips and all the shows, and you can watch live, available for free on the First TV app.
Unmatched analysis and historical perspective from Bill O'Reilly at 8. Then a bold, unapologetic take from Jesse Kelly at 9. It's must-see TV in prime time every night on the First TV.
So it was snowing out in my town. I think it's just started snowing like over 10 minutes ago, but it increases already, like a speed of bullet, but slower.
Today's special is about your soul.
Hey, thank you for the another sub, Rosarias. Hi, I really, I'm so sorry, Chad. Sometimes my mouth is scrambling,
Feeding on the flesh.
but I was gonna say I really appreciate for the another sub. Thank you.
Where do you go? When I say it?
Hello, Mickey Sticks.
Whatever it is, you shouldn't be addicted to it. An addict is someone who devotes oneself to something. Devotes. You dedicate yourself to it. The Bible says, Proverbs 25:28, a man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. If you are dedicated to devote yourself to a thing,
Excuse me, Chad.
in such a way that you're not glorifying God, but you're feeding your flesh, and that is a sin. You try to say everything is a disease these days to take away the responsibility of the self-control. But addiction is a sin. It's making an idol of something. It's turning to something first before an other. The idea of addiction being a disease comes from pagans. It removes all the moral dimensions. And it makes sense that they would do that because they don't believe in sin or morality or the soul or salvation. So they needed to come up with some new medical materialist paradigm. And they came up with, it's a disease. It's not. Romans 8:13 says, for if you live according to the flesh, you will die. But if by the Spirit you put to death,
Want to say hi to my fans?
death.
Karma.
If you worship the idol of alcohol, or video games, or drugs, or gambling, it ain't God. We're going to try to run through a bunch of different addictions on today's show. Let's start with maybe most people thought about it. I don't know what most people thought about it. We'll start with drugs. And I want to end the show with another major addiction that we have today, which is the addiction to meat. The addiction to the self. We'll start with marijuana. You should not smoke marijuana. It is bad. Turn this off. I can't even listen. People who smoke marijuana are so passionate about it, which speaks to the addiction as well. Just because something doesn't kill you the first time you do it doesn't mean it's good for you. And just because something you may even you think have a positive feeling the moment you do it certainly does not mean that it is good. All sins are pleasurable alone. I bring it up now because the New York Times did a series of editorial about why marijuana is bad. For a long time, the New York Times editorial board has been arguing for the legalization
Oh, I got some hearts. Thank you, chat.
Now that's just the 5 days a week. You would call it pay. But another 15 use it 4 to 20 days a week. And 11 million use it once a month. This is a massive spike. Tens of millions of people smoking marijuana. New York Times says that every year nearly 2.8 million people in the United States suffer from cannabinoid hyperuresis syndrome, which is severe vomiting and stomach. More people have also ended up in hospitals with marijuana or the way and chronic psychotic disorders. And then, of course, people driving high, causing more traffic. Now, the New York Times says that we should not criminalize marijuana because that just the New York Times is instead calling for what they call grudging toleration. This is what the left used to pretend to do with abortion. There's a Louis C.K. joke where he says, you can do it, but that's never going to work because sinners don't keep talent. The activists are always going all the time talking how amazing marijuana is, so great. And it's going to work. Look how popular it is. The legal pot industry is now $30 billion in sales. $30 billion. That is close to the total annual revenue of Starbucks. So think how comically ubiquitous Starbucks is. Now we always joke about how there's like 3 Starbucks in one corner. Legal marijuana just as prolific. And people say, oh, come on, well, square. Marijuana is safer than alcohol, and alcohol is legal. I never understood that. Even when I was for the legalization of marijuana, I never realized alcohol causes more problems than maybe anything in the country. You could easily make the argument that alcohol is the most destructive thing, physical thing in the whole country. The health issues that it causes, deaths, and injuries from DUI, people killing people. It's somewhere between 30 and 50% of violent crime in America is committed by people who are drinking. About 30 to maybe 50% of the violent crime in America is by smoking. Right? Like it is, how can we decrease violent crime by 50% overnight? You can see why banning alcohol is a thought that people should consider. But to know that, and be like, wow, here we allow this thing that ruins marriages and leads to abused children and abused wives and DUIs and a host of terrible decisions that don't show up in any statistics. If that's legal, then we should legalize this other thing that's bad. Like, what? No, that's not. There's no statistic for people who show up drunk to work or show up late or get fired for being an alcoholic. There's no statistics for families that are up at alcohol. There is a stat for excessive alcohol. That's from what they call excessive alcohol. That's the technical term. That's excessive alcohol. 178,000 people a year. That's a lot. So that's not a good thing. Neither is marijuana. Just because we have one bad thing that's legal doesn't mean you have 4 bad things because they're all legal anyway. I like this take from Matt Walsh. He says one of the things that makes weed so dangerous is that it's used as a totally fanciful, almost supernatural trait in the substance itself. Alcohol can be dangerous, but everyone who drinks alcohol knows that. You'll admit. You'll never hear anyone argue that there are no dangerous downsides to alcohol. But most pot smokers honestly believe they convince themselves that there's no downside to the drug of their choice. They can get high every day for 50
Hey, thank you for the another sub, chat.
There's no trade-off. Literally all the data, all the research.
I'm just seeing my sub count in my backup iPhone that I use to play Call of Duty. Good girl, Karma. We're getting a lot of followers. That's a good number.
14.4-year-old Lana was gone to the ER for cannabis-induced psychosis. It's like paranoia hallucinating. She gets very potent THC. Within 3 years, 41% of them develop schizophrenia. That's messing with your brain, obviously. Like you say, well, that's not me. That's not me. I do it just to relax. We all do things to relax later. Okay, yeah. You trust me, really that way. Relax. It's not a choose something different. Well, I'll take a glass of wine. Well, that's also not good. That doesn't give you sleep. It's not good for you to do. All of a sudden, I gotta take the edge off. No, you don't. The edge is good. Why are you taking the edge off? You want the edge. You want to be sharp. You want that sharpness in your mind. You want clear, good thinking. The edge is good. Why would you do something that makes you dull? You are a knife trying to hack your way through the jungles of life. Don't dull yourself. Make yourself weak. Addiction steals part of your soul. Kills your strength. Reject all addiction. If you do, you get your soul back. And then you'll be mad at the thing for stealing your soul. I'll be living your life. If you call marijuana because you're so mad, you're very, very angry. And as I see it, the best argument they can make is, well, it's a free country and I'm an adult and I can do what I want. That's not right. We live in a society that draws lines on what best promotes human flourishing. The pro-popular lie about, well, it's going to help grandma with her glaucoma. That was the pitch. And it was my fault. I fell for the, well, if we legalize marijuana, it will bankrupt the drug cartels in Mexico. But the pro-popular will always be still. The only good news here is that marijuana is not 40 or 20 with American culture like alcohol is. So it can still be dangerous. The cat's not 40. Not a bad. That's just marijuana. We have plenty of other addictions that we have to talk about. There's a massive growing one. Online sports gambling. It's a huge problem. There's one that's already enormous. That's porn addiction. We're going to talk about next guest about other types of sex addiction. We'll have someone actually from Triple Out Church to talk about that. Talk about alcohol addiction. And then I want to end with the addictions in meat. Not me, like Slater Show. You should be addicted to that. It's the one good addiction that's good. You should listen to the show on meat. The addiction to the sex. Which is core of all addictions.
That's rough. But hey, with Save Light, you can get that fixed any way you want.
It's your windshield. Get it fixed any way you want with Safe Light.
You've become a trustworthy girl and Angel put so much time into her kitchen. He treated it like it was his baby.
So when you needed a godmother for a baby, I couldn't trust anyone else.
I do kitchens.
Andrew, you want to trust, find the ones you trust.
Design will feel in every detail. Technology as innovative as it is effortless. These are luxuries you don't have to wait for. This is Buick now. Buick, exceptional by design. Get 0.9% APR and no monthly payments until spring on these Buick models. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get up to $3,000 allowance on Encore GX.
Unveiling something to celebrate. Go to restifra.com.
Design will feel in every detail. Technology as innovative as it is effortless. These are luxuries you don't have to wait for. This is Buick now. Buick, exceptional by design. Get 0.9% APR and no monthly payments until spring on these Buick models. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get up to $3,000.
When every moment matters, you unite as one. Because when defying the odds is what you do, the right care can change everything. For every care in the world, Cleveland Clinic.
Welcome back to our special America's Addiction is a Human Condition. Arch Kennedy here. He's the author of The Weather's Fine. He's a former meteorologist. The Weather's Fine, my method for navigating life's challenges. Arch, how are you?
I'm doing well. Good to see you again.
Great to talk to you today. Tell us about your battle with addiction.
It has been a lifelong battle. It has been one with lots of ups and downs. You know, when I was in television news, starting in my 20s, I started really seeing issues with my alcoholism and my on-air performance. And at about 28 years old, I was doing work at CNN, and I'll never forget the head of CNN calling back to the meteorology department and telling me, "You look dead. You got to do something. Liven up." And I knew when I got that call that it was that my performance was suffering, and it was because of my drinking.
Wait, she doesn't look abused.
I was young, you know, I could rebound
She looks pretty good to me.
from the nights of heavy drinking, but it was starting to take its toll,
Tripping?
and it was starting to affect my performance, and I realized I needed to make a change. At that point,
What?
I did get sober, but at that point in my life, I also
Okay, I am so sorry about that, chat.
I was not grounded in scripture as I am today.
This guy named Noe
I call it a
thinks that my dog looks abused, but she's not.
took off about a good 9 years of just moving up the ladder and
But this guy's tripping. This guy's on drugs.
it was a dry run, and eventually that would lead to a relapse by the time I was 40 years old.
What do you say to people
I am so sorry, guys.
this is too alcohol?
Some of these guys are so fucked in the head.
Not me. That's he couldn't handle it, but I can. My performance isn't winning.
I will never abuse my dog.
This is, you know, because
Ever.
alcoholism and addiction are, it's a very blurred area as far as how someone may exactly know that they're addicted. I always say use this rule of thumb. Is the particular drug of choice, is it affecting your career? It was for me. Is it affecting your family life in any way? Is it affecting your relationship with friends? Any of those areas, if you see that it is affecting any of those areas in your life in a negative way, maybe time to look at it as a possible addiction. But it's one of those things, it's a self-diagnosis. You hear this often in AA and other community. Only the person who's addicted knows and can make the changes. So you have to really evaluate how it's affecting your life.
There's so much denial though, right? It's nuanced through that. And then you mentioned friends. And a lot of these addictions are tied into friendship. And different life situations you get to unwind well, and that can be really scary if you do that.
Very. You know, I had to change, speaking of friends, I had to change
Hi, Mama.
friends,
Hi, Mama.
places that
Hi,
I
good girl. Who's a good girl?
because I chose friends through my earlier years in addiction, in my 20s especially. I chose my friends by who could drink with me, who could use with me. That is how I made my choices, and of course that was the wrong choice. So it involved removing certain people from my life, and that's a hard thing to say, but when it comes to your life, and especially for me,
Having fun chewing with your bone?
journey, it matters more about my relationship with God. And if that
My dog really likes bones.
in my life, that's the way
I mean, really likes them.
How is being a Christian different? How has that changed your addiction differently? How is the moving away from the addiction different from being a Christian versus when you try to get it out?
very good question. I was hoping you were going to get to that. You know, I spoke of being the dry run through my 20s. Eventually, without that strong foundation in my faith, it led to a relapse. And unfortunately, it led to the darkest decade of my life. Through my 40s, I had just gotten out of television news and was searching for a new direction in my life. And that is the decade that was
Hey, can we get like 2,170 subscribers, please? I'm only like 5 away, so.
I thought I And so the demons, you know, they come in and they say, you can handle it, you can do it. Just handle how often you drink or how many, cut off how many you're having each night. Well, within 6 months after I picked it back up, I went into my worst alcoholism ever. So recently, over the past 4 years, when I really found my faith in Jesus Christ, that changed everything. I'm now in several years of sobriety, but it's grounded sobriety in Scripture, and that's what keeps me strong every day. It, you know, as my faith grows, also, I realize how important my relationship is with God, and I know that in active addiction, it puts a wall between me and the Lord, and I cannot have a relationship with Him. So not only is it bad for me, but now I know something stronger, something even more important. It's hampering my relationship with God, and I don't want that. I don't want that ever damaged like it was.
What was that? What's that?
I've heard people
You said something?
the
Huh?
sobriety process.
Hmm?
They'll be like, oh, well,
You
you're
saying
just
something?
replacing one addiction
You
with
saying
another.
something, Mama?
And that could be true, right? You can have more positive addictions than you can have. But getting addicted to God, your creator,
She's
that's a really good one. And you have to have one, right?
Exactly. You know, and this is also a great topic as well on those cross addictions, or you know, using something else as you know, to cover what you were previously addicted to. You know, cross addiction. That is something, and I think all of us addicts have to deal with is being very mindful of what you're replacing it with. And you know what I did with the first go round was I was replacing it with work. I was addicted to work. I worked 24/7. I was, you know, everything was my job and career. But that didn't last. You know, that is earthly, you know, earthly things. When it's grounded in God, that gives you more of the foundation to be able to stay strong in your sobriety, if that makes any sense. You know, I just,
My other phone is almost dead, so I should charge that after I'm done streaming.
And I don't know if is this addiction too, does this fit into it, or does this fit into the sin? So where does same-sex attraction fit into it?
I think, you know, if I'm being very, very honest about things, you know, over my past, I think that was probably a big contributor to my alcoholism was my same-sex attraction and my faith and the battle in between the two. And for many years, it worked, you know, for a while. The alcohol numbed that, you know, that turmoil inside, and it kind of masked it. It made it easier to accept what I knew I couldn't change about my attraction for the same sex. But, you know, if God, as I've studied Scripture and I have grown in my relationship with Jesus Christ, He has given me the strength to say no to something that felt and still does feel very natural to me. I will not deny that I'm not still attracted to the same sex. I am, absolutely. But my relationship with God matters more, and I do not believe any human being in this world gets through this life unscathed. Everybody fights something. Everybody has a particular sin that is particular to them. You know, it may be pornography. It may be, you know, but God gives me the strength to be celibate, and it is a day.
And thank you for having me. Are you back? Benny, what do you think?
Can't do that. My God, I'm so impressed. That's incredible. But one thing you don't want to be running out in Noreaster, okay? And there is a possible Noreaster heading our way for the fifth weekend in a row with some snow. A strengthening storm will deliver accumulating snow, slippery travel from West Virginia to southern New England. There is potential for it to rapidly strengthen along the coast. So let's break this down for you. There's still a lot of things that we're tweaking, and this is a forecast that's going to be mind as we continue throughout the rest of this week and into your weekend. But what we do know is an impactful storm is on the way. And the big question is, where will that low end up going? If it's a little bit closer to the coast, we may see a lot more impacts throughout the I-95 corridor up towards the northeast. But if it's a little bit farther out into the ocean, out into the Atlantic, maybe we won't see as much. Some higher winds and a little bit of that coastal flooding will all be a possibility with this system. So, breaking down those potentials right now, we're looking at into the I-95 corridor. We do have that winter storm watch already in play, starting on our Saturday and continuing into our Monday, where we can see those impacts starting to rock on through. Now, this is going to be including parts of obviously New York City, as well as into upper parts of Massachusetts. We're also seeing this into parts of Jersey as well. This is going to be an impactful coastal storm, no matter what we end up seeing with it. But snow forecast as of right now, again, these things are changing. It's been changing over the past few hours as we've gotten more updates with our models, both the Euro and the GFS Canadian model as well. But I mean, as we continue into your Sunday and Monday, as of right now, we're looking at the potential to see anywhere from 5 to 8 inches of snow throughout the Philly area, throughout New York, and even up towards Boston area, getting a little bit more of that snowier impact. Again, things are going to be ebbing and flowing. Even looking at our ensemble low positions, this is the GFS, the Euro, the AIF GFS as well. And I mean, everything is kind of keeping it a little bit on this way. But for the most part, as we continue to move into the end of your Sunday and into Monday, things are kind of trending slightly more to the west. So we're going to keep an eye on this. It's not going to be, well, what kind of impact do we see? It's more so how intense the impact will be when it comes to the snow. And of course, the winds. We have to watch out for that wind impact too. Anything that ends up falling with the snow, whether it's rain or a little bit more farther south, we definitely can see a little bit more of a wintry mix. It's going to be tough on that visibility. Ian?
Continue to monitor this developing nor'easter, those winter weather alerts. We're rolling in this afternoon. A lot is changing this afternoon. You're saying, wait a minute. Snow right now, the visibility. It's poor, the right side of the screen. That's where we checked in with Snow in Black. Name is showing us the conditions. That's not the storm we're talking about. That's the storm before the storm. New York City, it's just a dreary day. We've been having that drizzle come down. Temperatures hovering in the upper 30s or so. We're going to dive into the forecast, let you know what you can expect for timing and snow totals. Stay with us. More Fox Weather after the break.
Plan your family fun in the ultimate playground at visitcalifornia.com.
It bothered us too that your employees weren't taking full advantage of their retirement plans, so Vanguard created something to give them a little nudge. Vanguard's AI engine analyzes 35 million data points to prompt each employee with their next best action. It's called Vanguard Well on Your Way, and it's why 87% of employees took action to improve their financial well-being. Let's get back to 100%. Vanguard, discipline that delivers.
Right now at McGovern Toyota, lease a 2026 Toyota Tacoma for just $255 a month. Or lease a 2026 Toyota Tundra for $439 a month. With New England's #1 Toyota dealership right in your backyard, your new vehicle is just around the corner. Visit McGovernToyotaDealers.com.
Pod's epic savings event has been extended. Now save up to 25% until March 2nd and see why Pods is America's #1 container moving company. Whether you're relocating or renovating, save up to 25% at Pods.com today.
America's legacy drives on at McMulkin Chevrolet. Capture the dependability of America's brand with the new 2026 Chevy Colorado for only $266 a month. Or save on the new 2026 Chevy Silverado Trail Boss for only $439 a month. For over a century, Chevy has been driving America. And for nearly 70 years, McMulkin Chevrolet has delivered an experience built to last. Make it McMulkin.
I can order contacts in 5 minutes and get them the next day.
Bam.
Wow! Right now, you can save 20% on your first order, plus fast free shipping right to your door.
When we needed to remodel our kitchen, we went to Angie and found a trustworthy pro with so much love and care into it.
He treated it like it was his baby.
So when we needed a godfather for a baby,
I couldn't trust anyone else.
Seriously?
Yes.
Connecting homeowners with skilled pros for over 30 years. Angie, the one you trust to find the ones you trust.
Your perfect winter getaway is calling. Escape to the great outdoors. Relax and unwind in style. From the bright lights of the big city to the wide open places beyond it. And everywhere in between. New York State, everything you love. Plan your trip at iloveny.com.
Hey, welcome back to Fox Weather Now. Thanks for being here at the bottom of the hour. I'm Ian Oliver. Very busy work week, and that's rolling right into the upcoming weekend. Now, increasing probability of this powerful nor'easter. It's the impact now for the I-95 corridor. That's where the knob has been turned up a little bit over the last 12 to 24 hours. Let's get into it. A powerful nor'easter set to develop this weekend with an increased chance of this becoming an impactful storm up and down the I-95 corridor. The major cities, New York, Philly, Boston, there's Middletown, you're looking for Cliff Walk and Newport, beautiful. Andover, Massachusetts, 35 degrees, you get some snowflakes flying on by with this storm that precedes the storm. This is what's new just from the past few hours, these winter storm watches that have been issued. This is the thinking fresh out of the Fox Forecast Center. An impactful nor'easter, significant snow for all major cities. You're saying, what does significant mean? We'll show you that coming up in just a moment. The trend has been wet, so potent area of low pressure. It's been clear that was going to develop for a couple of days now. The question has been, and still is, just to a lesser extent, the proximity of that area of low pressure to the coastline. High winds and coastal flooding. Gonna have to be on the lookout for that. Jersey Shore up into Portland. We've had issues with that a couple times already, going back to the month of January, and now we will once again with this one. This is the snow forecast for the I-95 corridor. So you've got the area of low pressure off the mid-Atlantic coastline, exploding in intensity come the second half of the weekend. This will be during the day on Sunday. Snow's picking up in coverage and intensity. You get this swath in through here. This is that brighter pink, 8 to 12 inches of snow. So we are approaching that from the DMV up into Jersey and the tri-state, and then points off to the east from there. I do think we get, to me, this comes in a couple of phases. This is the second half of Sunday. This is where I feel we're pretty locked in. It's a reasonably strong area of low pressure at that point, and there's no dodging proximity to that zone of the forecast. So you get snow through the early stages of this. Then into Monday morning, for context, there's the benchmark right there, the 70-40 line, the 40-70 line. Area of low pressure moves over that slam dunk snow for the I-95 corridor. You notice.
Oh, hello, Robert. How you been?
Are south and east of that benchmark. And the farther south and east you go, the more the impacts of the storm are limited. The difference between this and this can't be overstated in a scenario like this. And it's not completely locked in, but even in this scenario, which is why we're calling this a significant storm, we're not dodging impacts along the I-95 corridor. Part of the reason why the Weather Service has those winter storm watches up. And from there, this accelerates.
Oh, I can hear the crunch.
Out to the open Atlantic, and come Tuesday morning, no trouble outside of a lingering snow to clean on up. These are those winter storm watches. You get some of those back in the Appalachians, but here through the DMV, as I said, up the Delaware Valley and up into southern parts of New England. This is where we now have some concerns. Let's get you a quick check of the timing here a second. This is through the afternoon. This is now 1 o'clock, early afternoon on Sunday. This is what I was talking about through the early evolution of this. That storm's right there on the coastline. So you get a burst of snow from places like DC, Baltimore, up to Philly. Now as we move into the evening, snow here, no question, it will impact the I-95 corridor. This band right there, though, is the intense stuff. So we'll be watching that proximity.
Ugh, there's a lot of changes while you were gone.
Southern parts of New England, Cape Cod, and the islands. We don't dodge it. That moves in. A little bit of a
I don't know how to explain all of that.
including right here in New York. And there's
My dog Ginger passed away a year ago. I mean, almost 2 years ago. March 22nd. I got karma. Right there. That's karma. Created a few of my OCs. And
more clear. There are still some questions that need answers, so stay with us right here on Top
yeah.
Weather as we continue to dial in this forecast. A lot of people are paying attention to it, including folks up in Boston, where they've had tough winter. Looks like that right now. It's been a while since we had a winter like this. They're watching for what could be the significant impacts in the form of snow, yes, and also some of those coastal effects, like we saw with those storms back in January. Commuters need to be aware, not just for what's going on through the early part of next week. There's a storm moving through right now. It's going to be a slick ride home from work today. So joining us now live from Boston, Fox Weather meteorologist Melanie Black. Melanie, they got this one. It's like a little table setter, and then it's all eyes on the weekend. What are folks saying about that in the sense that, you don't want to throw away this because you've been telling us enough accumulation, right, that this could be a little bit of a tough ride home from work just to get the weekend started, never mind going back to work.
Yeah, I mean, talk about some rough timing when this is panning out for the evening commute home. You and I both know Boston traffic well. It is pretty tough, and you throw some precipitation on it, and no doubt it's going to be a little bit tougher going home this evening. And this is just a little bit of a teaser of what's in store for us come Monday morning, which is going to bring more impacts. As far as the snow that we are talking about with this frontal system moving on through, this is more of a light to moderate impact. Accumulation-wise, anywhere from about 1 to 3 inches around the Boston metro. We go farther north, and that's where higher accumulations are expected through tomorrow morning, anywhere from 3 to 6 inches. So that's where you're going to see more snow shovels out and more snow plows. Mass that have already started to pre-treat the roads ahead of this, they did, and they're planning to send out those snow plows.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Robert.
To clear the snow once this falls. So there are some areas.
But no, that's my dog's name. That dog's name. Her name is Karma. Karma. My family named her when we got her. What's up, Coco? I mean, what's up, Kiko? Thanks, Kiko. I really appreciate that. First of all, that's her. My dog's a girl. And sure. You got a lot of people who liked you. Yeah. He's a good girl. He's a good girl. He's a good girl. He's a good girl.
There's also some impacts in terms of the wind, a strong wind. When you talk about Noreaster, you have to talk about the strong wind piece. There isn't really a threshold for how strong the wind gusts can be. When we have a storm that is classified as Noreaster, it just has to be strong. That yes, there is potentially a damaging wind anywhere from 50 to
Yeah, the
Alright, so my mom is gonna be home very soon, so
rolling this year. We got a ways to go still.
I'll be stopping streaming when, you know,
Melanie Black. Thank you, Mel. We kicked back with me a little bit.
when she gets home.
It's been an area of accumulating snow. That's part of it being what Melody is standing out in. Kind of a rough way to close out this week before we even get to that.
I know.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Robert. I hope you're doing alright.
3 inches of snow within 24 hours for them. That old record was around 4 inches. So blown that way out of the water. I mean, there were areas throughout Nebraska that got well over 10 inches of snow too. Now, moving over into parts of Iowa, also nothing to snuff your nose at. 16 inches of snow within 24 hours. That was over into Fredericksburg as well as into Maple Rock. 15 inches of snow there. I mean, over a foot for folks within 24 hours. That's an impactful snowfall. Really tough to get around in those areas. But the winter weather, it's not done quite yet throughout the Midwest. I mean, especially for the northern parts. You're looking up towards the UP of Michigan. We still have winter weather advisories, winter school warnings in place. So that snow is still moving through before it starts to make its way into the Northeast, where we're already starting to see that action pick up for folks like Melanie was out over into Boston. So looking into our live radar right now, we still have a little bit of that snow that's going to be impacting way up into the northern parts of Michigan. Not done quite yet. As you continue to track more towards the Northeast, you'll see it in parts of upstate New York as well as even in Pennsylvania getting a little bit on that rain action, a little bit of that wintry mix. And a little bit farther north than that, New Hampshire as well as into Vermont, starting to see some more of that snowfall. On top of this, we also have very gusty winds still impacting the Midwest. We're seeing wind gusts up to 40, 45 miles per hour for some folks that are in Indiana as well as Ohio, as well as in the southern parts of Michigan. So a little bit of a breezier evening for folks trying to get home too. Those wind alerts still in place, wind advisories for Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and the southern parts of Michigan.
Yeah, I've been through this, Robert.
Now, timing-wise,
Glad you're doing alright now.
we'll continue for a few more hours into the northern parts of Michigan as well as into the Midwest. As we track into the rest of the day today, the Northeast, you'll also start to see that transition from a little bit of that wintry mix more so into snow late tonight, overnight into tomorrow morning, where we could see a couple inches. I mean, we're talking a good 3 to 5 inches for folks near Boston, and even farther north than that, could see closer to 5 to 8 inches, maybe more in those higher elevations, like in Vermont as well as in New Hampshire, upstate New York, getting closer to that 8 to 12 inch mark. So be careful throughout the rest of the end of this week and moving into the weekend, before again we have that next system rolling through.
The winter's not giving up just yet. It's still here in full force, if you can believe it. We're just over 100 days until the start of the new hurricane season. The big question is the same one that we have at this point every year. What's the season going to look like? What weather patterns are in play? What does that mean for the season ahead? Fox Weather Hurricane Specialist Brian Norcross joins us next to break that down. That's when Fox Weather Now comes right down.
My snowing is pretty hot. It's going pretty hard, guys. Snow in my town is going hard. Looks pretty thick. Ain't gonna lie.
Many of my clients ask me, how come programs take 5 minutes?
Hey, how long does it take? I'm kind of in a rush.
Oh, just 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes? Y'all are like...
Well-oiled machine.
I was gonna go there. It's obvious. Take 5. The standard car 10-minute oil change.
Alright, everybody, so I'm gonna be signing off right now. So thank you guys for watching Karma, and I'll see you guys in around.